James Melendez, James the Wine Guy. This is about point of difference, so stay tuned for this vlog. Now I've been trying to get to a weekly vlog cadence. It's really hard to do, and it wouldn't be so hard to do if I didn't have so many bottle reviews, and that's by my choice, right? And so I'm trying to work on that. How do I get that done in a timely manner, but also how do I address the many bottles that I do have? And I think I've come up with some solutions. I'll see if that really works, and I'll report back later. But for me, point of difference is really important. I use this term quite a bit when I talk about wines, especially if they meet a few criterion. And I'll give you an example of what I mean by point of difference. So a point of difference wine means ultimately that it is so unique, or that there's some consideration on the wine itself. Maybe it's the variety, maybe it's how it is made. And these characteristics come through in terms of, you present a bottle of wine at your in-laws, or maybe you go to a friend's house, or maybe you're just going to a picnic and you really want to bring a point of difference wine. That is a wine that people are not going to expect. It is going to be unique, but yet very approachable. And I think that is the point of difference that I try to bring out. So point of difference to me means several things. One, it comes from a, not a well-known variety, and it's a variety that's difficult to find, for example, in the marketplace. So some of the characteristics include, a variety that's not well known, or perhaps it's a variety that's difficult to find in your marketplace, or perhaps it's maybe not a common way to produce a particular wine variety in a particular manner, maybe carbonic maceration or not. Maybe that there is a still wine, or maybe it's a sparkling wine, or maybe it's a dessert wine, but it is a unique variety, or maybe there's some characteristic to it that makes it completely, not the usual suspect of particular wines. I also, I did say not a well-known variety, which is different than a rare variety. So there's rare varieties that are really hard to find, and when you do find them, it's really fun to taste these wines. I also think that in many ways, a point of difference can be region. That is, maybe perhaps a region that is not well known, or perhaps it's a region or sub-region that really gets not a lot of coverage. So when I was in Montreal recently, in Montreal, Quebec, I was tasting a Wall-Luc Slope Syrah, right? How random is that? I don't mean random in terms of it's just the wine director was not thoughtful. I think they were very thoughtful, and I think they reached into that hat, so to speak, pulled out a particular idea and went with that. Bravo to that person, because I think that's a great decision. Because I can tell you right now, in San Francisco, California, a great wine capital, by the way, is I would be hard pressed to find a bottle at a retailer of Wall-Luc Slope Syrah. It's even though it's just up there, pointing north, it is so hard to find. So for me, I'm like, how is that possible? But that's the wine world we are in today, so that's why I bring out point of difference, because I think it's a really nice call out. So again, a lesser known region or a lesser known sub-region. Sometimes it's a unique blend, and there's many out there. I'm surprised to see how often, say, Pinot Noir, is added to a blend, and I think it's influential in many ways. In some ways good, in some ways not so good, believe it or not. And I think even small lots are a point of difference, right? You have small producers producing small lots, and somehow there's that extra experience with that, because it's a wine that not very many people are going to taste, because there's very little of that. I also think there's, the call out of vineyard site. So selection is really important. Site selection, obviously, is greatly important and influential in how the finished wine is. Taste Pinot Noir from 5 different sites in the same appellation. It's going to be all very different, and that's a fun part about wine. And then I can go on and on about many other features, but point of difference is really that, what makes a wine unique, and something to, when you share that with other people, you don't need to share it. I was in Quebec by myself, and I definitely got that idea of PoD, the point of difference, and I was really excited about that. And surprisingly, that doesn't happen very often. I'm in the wine world. I'm steeped in it. I'm always, tasting wines, and I don't get a lot of PoD, but that's okay, because that's for me to come and figure out, and to really pull those bottles, if you will, and get them poured, because I think that is really getting smaller producers to get their names out there, as well as a Mac Vin du Joie, right? It should be a simple wine to find, but it is not a simple wine to find. It is very difficult to find. And so in Quebec, I should have gone to the SAQ. I've said that in another video for a particular Marc Vendu wine. And, you know, those are the things you walk away from like, I see how this wine world is really complex. And so when I can, you know, highlight a PoD wine, it's really, really important to bring that out. Many more individual bottle reviews to come, general wine topics, weekly vlogs. Well, I can't say weekly because I'm not there yet. Someday I will be. Now, you know, because I have a lot of videos out there and I continue to make them, and that is another point of difference. I know that not everybody does that, and that's fine. I'm not really trying to speak for anybody else except myself. So I appreciate your support. Do me a favor, give a like to this video, share this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already, and stay tuned for more reviews. So, you know, questions and comments here, that's where the like button is, and the subscribe button's right here, so click on that if you haven't done so already. And thank you so much. If you have ideas, questions, comments, you can also list that on the many social medias that I'm on, such as Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, LinkedIn, as well as Instagram and WordPress. Thank you again for watching today. Stay tuned for more. Salud.